So let me explain how to shoot your videos with your mobile phone, explaining to you some settings you need to set to be able to shoot it right. When you start shooting your video, it's very important that you have to pay key attention to things, because this part of production is the most sensitive part. The beginning, like this part of you shooting your video, the prep and everything, getting ready. This is the most important part, because if you miss it in this part, the post-production, there's not really much that can be done there. So this particular area is my bed. I'm in my room. I just put my fluffy blanket above the bed. Just try to be creative. You don't need that big setup to do something creative. You just need to expand your mind and just be creative. So right now you may think this video is clear, but it's not, because my lens is not clean, and I'm going to show you how the video is going to look with my lens cleaned. So can you tell the difference? You may not be able to tell it, probably because you're not the one holding your phone, but when you drop your phone on the table, on the bed, or wherever you drop your phone, normally the back is usually facing down. So that way, when the back of the phone is facing down, it gets in contact with dust, dirt, and your fingernails, and everything is there. So before you shoot any video, please always remember to clean your lens. That's the first step. Remember to clean your lens. Okay. When you clean your lens, like as you can see in my screen, I have this grid line. So you can either shoot in this way, which is the portrait mode, or you can turn your phone this way and shoot in landscape. Do you understand? So you either shoot this way or this way, portrait, or you shoot in landscape, depending on what you want to use the video for. Now, if you want to use the video for, let's say, YouTube, it's best you shoot this way. If you want to use it for, let's say, Instagram, WhatsApp story, TikTok, you can use it this way. And that's all about the frame ratio in setting your videos. Now, when you, as you can see in my screen, I have this HD 30. I'm using HD 30, and I can change it to 60, change it to 30. I can change the HD to 4K. The 4K is brighter, but it takes much MB. You can change it to 4K and 60. This is 4K and 60 frame per second. So whichever one you want. I love shooting in 4D and 60K because so that the MB will not be too high. Although in HD and 60 frames per second, because if it's in 4K, it will be too large and I'll have to do a lot of compressing. Now on the screen, if you tap on the screen, you see the lights. It changes. This thing works on any type of phone, even Android. You can try it with your phone. As you're tapping on the screen, the light changes. So you can choose to take down the exposure, do you see, or bring it up, depending on what the kind of video the kind of video shots you want to take. So it's advisable that once you just click on record and start recording, don't start messing up with the exposure, except you were trying to do something creative. Because if you keep tapping on different places, you'll be obstructing the video, and then when you're playing the video, you realize that some parts are out of focus, some parts are dark, some parts are, can you see as I'm clicking on the screen, it's showing different things. So before you record, make sure that everything is aligned. The light is the way you want it to be, whether you're using the natural light or you're using external light, and you like the way it's looking in your phone, it's best to just keep it that way. Just keep it that way. Don't change any other thing, and then you start recording. Also, to avoid shaky hands, even if you're using your two hands or your emotions and all of that, just use a tripod. They have small tripod that's so little, they can just help you with that stability. Now, there's another thing you have to know when you're shooting a video for, like if you're shooting a video of yourself, not a product video, there's something they call headroom. Let's say this is you. I'm not saying you're a facial scrub. I'm just giving an example. Let's say this is you. Don't shoot this way. As you can see at the top, this area, as you can see, there's no headroom now. you have to give headroom. There have to be that space at the top. That space is very important. There has to be also space by the side. Position it very well so that if you want to shoot your video, you don't have to put it down or make it up and there's so much space up. You have to align it, make sure that there's enough headroom, there's body room. This looks good. Like this, this looks good. I can work with this. Do you understand? So it's very important that you do that. Even if you're using the portrait format, you have to also give headroom, and you can also position it this way. Just be creative about it. Now, when you're shooting your video, try as much as possible to remove your hand from the microphone. If your microphone is below, remove your hand from the microphone, because what this does is that it's going to obstruct your sound. That's if you're recording without a tripod stand or without a tripod. It's going to obstruct the sound of your voice. Try to remove your hand. Also, if you're shooting and your camera is by the side, try as much as possible to remove your hand. Try as much as possible to let your hand stay away, because if not, you have a shot like this. If your hands are moving, and you won't even know when you're shooting the videos when you're done. So try as much as possible to remove your hands from the camera. Very important, very, very important. And also, when you're shooting your video, it's best you shoot it on normal video mode. Don't go to slow-mo or time-lapse. So when you shoot it on the normal video, you can be able to speed up and slow down the video, like I would explain in the next lesson. Also, once you're shooting, it depends on the lighting. Try as much as possible not to use your flash, because now if we start recording, you see, especially if you're recording a human being, it gives this red eyes. Your eyes, that red eyes thing, you'll be looking like a vampire. You're not a vampire. So try as much as possible to avoid using a flash. Instead, get your external lights. They have this very variety of LED lights, ring lights, and the rest. Just try to get your hands on one, or shoot in an environment that has, or in a room or an environment that has natural light, instead of using the light from your phone. Also, it's worthy to note that you have to pay attention to your memory space. You'll be dealing with a lot of videos, so it's best you have a memory, like a sufficient memory and good battery too, because shooting videos and editing videos would require a considerate amount of battery. So you have to have good battery and good memory. Please, you have to keep that in mind. If you're deciding to record your video throughout, like in portrait mode this way, please stick to it. On no account should you turn it this way in some part of it. I see some people doing this, before you know it, they turn it this way, they turn it this way. You're just going to mess things up in post-production, because you're using two different frame rate at the same time. Unless you're trying to do something like really, really creative that nobody knows about, probably may come out well, but it's best to just stick with one frame ratio. Just stick with, if you're sticking with portrait, stick with portrait. If you're sticking with horizontal, please stick with that. So let's dive into the basic equipment you may need when you're shooting your video.